So, question of the day is describe your character's perfect afternoon.
Maz's perfect afternoon
Okay.
is waking up from a nap and then going out and going into the forest with bras and hunting for mushrooms and cool rocks and then pushing bras into a cold river just for ha-has.
Aw. I had nothing. I'm gonna have to second that because that's freaking good. Who doesn't like getting cool rocks?
I didn't realize the cool rocks had to be hunted. It's kind of
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can link you to articles showing rocks move.
that's true. I have seen some of those.
Exactly.
All right. Bras Hunker. We'll give Bras a moment to follow that one up. Getting showed up by her sibling here. Crotus Hunker, what is your perfect afternoon?
Any afternoon where I get to hear both like the laughter of children and like the uncomfortable silence of like a fearful child or group of children. I'm not like being weird. I don't kill children, but so like I want to specify like Hunker's not like that. But like I
For
figure
legal
clown
reasons, I
target.
do not touch kids.
No, I just no diddling kids. We don't
That is
diddle kids.
exactly what I was just about to say. I was just reminded of that song from
Yeah.
Yep,
No,
that
God
was
damn it,
that
Don't
was
like
the
diddling
intention.
kids.
yeah.
Bro,
But
Gotta
like,
be
how many times I
big,
tell
bigger
you,
than
they're
Madonna.
going to get you in the cage for diddling kids. You keep writing songs about it.
but I do like kind of scaring them a little bit. Like
Well,
if
who
I can
doesn't?
scare them and make them laugh in like the same couple moments, it's a victory. That's like a real special, sweet feeling. I think that I'm Honker and Honker really enjoy.
Honker wishes to be a 1980s Don Bluth movie. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
The perfect description.
Yeah.
Damn, now I'm wanting to watch me some Secrets of Nim.
Yeah, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Like the stuff that a child loves, but gives them nightmares when they have to digest it later.
Mm-hmm.
It's silly to see a clown burst out of another clown, but is it?
But is it unethical though?
Grotus, what's your afternoon?
Wait, who's up next?
You.
Oh, great.
Get your head in the game.
Yeah, it is great.
Grotus would emerge from an icy body of water, invigorated and alive and pink with energy, his capillaries pulsing, and stare directly into the sun and defy it to dry him out as fast as possible. And then, still fully nude and erect, walk through town and let everyone know that death has no place in this day.
Yeah, we should have probably seen that coming.
Oh,
Then,
man.
having survived the run home from the angered mob, he goes into the forest, continues to dry himself out, decides that death will not have this day as he leaps from the tallest tree into the coldest body of water. That's the perfect afternoon.
I see.
Full circle.
Amazing. All right, bros. got some interesting shoes to fill.
I don't know how I'm supposed to top any of those.
The bar has been set high.
Yeah.
Really, it starts
Wow.
with like 50 to 100 milligrams of THC, and then work your way up from there.
Oh wow.
Okay, well, I guess start with a little nap in the sun. And then wake up, maybe go for a swim, maybe pick some berries.
And then you emerge from the body of water.
Not quite as picturesque as Grotus. A wet goblin's not a pretty sight.
And Grotus, pink and erect is.
Oh jeez.
Sorry, guys. I'm just.
Oh, that was quality.
Somehow
I have
the
an
answers
English
for
degree
Grotus
and too much beer in
shocked
me.
the
I'm
heck
sorry.
out of me.
Understandable.
I learned too many adjectives and now.
Oh.
And now I'm scarring children.
Right? And
No, I
adults.
saved the good stuff for you guys. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I feel
Beautiful.
so special.
Wonderful. All right. Well, that was an interesting start. Let me get a little
We
map
just
up
really
here.
want to make sure that you have an accurate idea of who we are as people.
Exactly. All right.
Yeah, I don't think I left any question.
So last time we started in our stuff here in this next little Arca story. Anybody remember what happened? What did we get up to?
Mortuary dude.
Indeed.
All right, Maz was like super excited that he played with dead bodies.
Here,
Yeah,
we'll
we
get
were
you
all
his,
a little too into that.
get you his picture
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Hey, Coco, stay down. I can already smell you're kind of stinky. You just came out of letterbox. Nope. No.
Damn it, Coco.
Coco,
Get your stank ass out of here.
Pretty
buddy.
much.
No.
I am just high enough for this. This is great. Quick chase after that stank ass cat, DM. Yeah, boy.
It's the best form of the Dungeons and Dragons experience.
It is.
Just when things get started, the stinky ass cat knocks shit over.
Well, no. See,
That's what cats do.
he dropped a dingleberry. Is what happened.
Right behind Moog's chair, even. That's
That
why
explains
he's
why I'm
smelling it.
smelling
Of
it.
course. Of course.
Dude,
God damn it, Coco,
really
and your
have to do
cherry
that.
tomatoes, get the fuck off the table.
Oh,
Of
jeez.
course.
Yeah, so we had a wild time. We
Amazing.
gathered news in the town of Carrick.
Oh, that's just
There's a stump festival on Turpin Row, and that shit is crazy and lit.
Fuck
There's
yeah.
bad weather in the harvest lately. Everyone's super pissed off and worried about starving because the land has just been bad and the weather's been shit too.
Yep.
There's the life root stone. It's awake, and there's waking statues on all kinds of shit, and it's worrying people. Life root statue. Don't fuck with it. Or maybe we should fuck with it. There's people dying in their sleep, and that's related to the funeral home business we've been to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, naturally, things point to the funeral home director. He seems to be the only one who's benefiting from it directly, but there seems to be no other pattern otherwise. And he only seems to be benefiting from it because he's the only functioning funeral, mortician in town, it seems.
Yeah.
Most recent one, Humber Huttenfeld, died last day or so, still on display at the funeral home, died in his sleep again. Ages 20s, 30s, suspicious deaths, sleep within the last year, no known pattern. So,
Oh my god. He's showing us up so bad.
did all that shit, and There's Martin and Serena Geely help out with the Opera Vandy's funeral home. So it's Opera Vandy. That's right. That's our guy.
Yeah,
Funeral home
he's the
director.
guy. He's the mortician.
He's a guy.
We got a couple different directions we could go to.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like Life-Root Stone or the Tower would be the closest one. Turpin Row, not too far away from here. Matt and Cleve, there's shit going on down there. Something about zombies or some bad zombies, some bad shit going on, maybe. And we got some deep other venues. Old Forest, Everspring Tower. I'll need to see the map again.
Yeah, we got stuff all over the place. In terms of the stuff that was the closest to where we are right now in Carrick, Opper mentioned that the first death in terms of possibly mysterious, like the ones that were closest to, like when he first started having these weird nightmares, was some like old farmer guy northeast of here near Matt and Cleve. Old Carew was his name. So he did mention that as that coinciding with the first nightmare he had. It would take part of a day to get up to Matt and Cleve. It's about, measure this properly this time. It's like 7 miles up the coast, so a little walk, but not too far to get to his place and see if there's anything of note there. But yeah, we did also talk to the clerk, or we went to the church to see if there was anything there, and they mentioned that the bishop was currently out of town doing some stuff in Turpin Row, which is way to the southeast. There's some sort of like festival or something there, if I remember correctly. And yeah, at the moment, in terms of at least that one, we have kind of that, and then there's just kind of the general towers to check out in this area to poke around in and take the circus and whatnot. But yeah, we had a lovely dinner with Opper, and we went back to where things are getting set up still by the rest of the crew. And yeah, it's the next day where we start.
No.
As you guys are eating breakfast there, the professor comes over to you all and is like, "Well, there's certainly some nice hospitality here in Carrick, isn't there? I can't
Yeah,
believe they gave us such a nice spot just out of town."
it's not bad. We've been put up in worse places.
We certainly have.
And I think the citizens will really like it. It seems like, from what we can tell, everybody's kind of on edge. And so we'll get good attendance. So we should be able to get some much needed upgrades for the circus.
I trust you had a fruitful evening with Mr. Vandy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
It was so nice of him to offer us the passage here and to introduce us to the area.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they always seem to think us clowns got to do extra work just to get kind of paid, but we end up getting some cool stuff out of it. So.
Of course. Well, here we'll keep getting things set up here for the festivities for everyone. But of course, if you have anything you need to get up to, I know you have had your adventures, of course, that you've gone on, but don't let us hold you down. We'll make sure the things are ready to go whenever we need to start the show.
Of course, just know we're not ever off adventuring. We're just clowning around.
But,
Well, as we are wont to do.
Yes, yes. Hey, you want to see a trick?
Sure, why not?
Hunker screams and crouches over, and like the little Patroishka thing happens. And then we've been like kind of working on this, but only for like, a couple hours at best. So like they come out, but then we're trying to do a pyramid like as they're coming out, and it just turns into a mess of like kind of slightly more smaller little dolls, like all screaming and falling to the ground.
The
We're still working on that one. I'm sorry.
the professor, you definitely see kind of a look of confusion on his face, and he says, "Yes, I think that one might need a little more work. I'm not too sure how the children will take that one, but
Go.
perhaps with a little more workshopping."
Yeah, probably some fire or something will help it.
Oh, fuck yeah. Fire's awesome.
Yeah. Light that shit up.
So glad honkers come around.
While you guys are
Hunker has.
in the middle of all of this, you see kind of striding across the kind of little market area nearby where things are set up towards the kind of festival area where you guys are. You see Osho, Hayes Shot, Opera's kind of assistant, goblin gal. So she comes striding over, kind of waving cheerfully in your all's direction, and says, "Hiya! Good morning to y'all."
Yo.
Hiya! Good morning.
Looks like things are picking up nice.
By me, you mean we found a bunch of dead people, sadness, depression, and opportunities for optimism everywhere. Coming up roses.
Ah, it sounds like Mr. Vandy talked a bit about the troubles of the neighborhood.
Well, they lured us in with the money. They're going to keep us here with the dead bodies and mysteries.
Yes, there's certainly been a lot of business at Mr. Vandy's place. He's actually in the midst of the burial for Mr. Humber. The viewing period has been over, and it's time for him to go. And so he's currently officiating the funeral with the family. But I figured I would come and say hello and see how things were going.
Oh, great.
Wonderful. Well, I'm not quite sure what it was about, but Mr. Vandy mentioned to me that you were looking at something up in Matt and Cleve. I'm guessing for the circus or something of that sort, but if you need any assistance, I'd be happy to come along. I know this area pretty well. I get around with the business with Hopper Vandy, so if you need any help navigating, I got you. And she kind of does a little like mock salute at you guys.
Why you want to go to Matt Cleave so bad? Everyone else says it sucks.
Oh, it's not that I want to go to Matt and Cleve. I just know the area, and since you're helping out Mr. Vandy and I'm his assistant, it's only natural that I would want to make sure that things work well for you here in the area. I know this place like the back of my hand.
Yeah, sure, come on down.
Great. And she kind of like posts up on like one of the various stumps that are around for sitting on, just kind of waiting for whenever you guys want to go out. She's happy to kind of be your tour guide of sorts.
Okay. I mean, should we head to Matt and Cleve? What do we want there?
It's the old Carews place that's like near Matt and Cleve. That's the house of the first person who died.
That's right.
Yeah.
Our patient zero interview.
Yeah, our patient zero.
Very well then, we'll go on.
All right. So, you guys get your stuff all together, and you know get ready to head out with Osho along as well, along the Verdant Passage Road, which is the kind of more major road of the area that leads off to the northeast up the coast. And this entire like stretch of land, I mean, the road it's not like right up on the ocean, but it follows along it, and you can see the coast down the hill from where the path is, with kind of a nice, lovely view. There are fields of grain that kind of extend across the countryside in all directions, and little stone fences and hedges and things dividing them up, and farmsteads dotted here and there among them. Um, I mean, as Opera had mentioned during your dinner, this whole area of the island is kind of the breadbasket um, of Kortos, and it's kind of been known that way for a long time, even despite recent troubles. But you can definitely tell that being the case with all of this farmland everywhere. As you're kind of walking along, Asho's kind of making conversation about the area, and it's like, they say that the land here is so fertile that a dwarf could grow gold here with no effort. He could just plant it in the ground and whoosh, gold.
I don't think that's how gold works.
No, I'm pretty sure that's right.
Is it?
I could with a little magic in the dirt. Who knows?
Oh man, what do you plant to get gold?
Well, I can't really say that I know. I'm sure if somebody knew, they would certainly be doing it. Well, that's just what
Well,
they say, after all.
Honker, I have something new for us to try.
yeah. We need to find magic rocks and plant them.
Alchemy quest begin! We must turn the dirt into gold.
At some point along the travels,
Mm-hmm.
Gross is going to try to talk to Maz away from Osho and say, all right, when we get to the Kuru's place, we start doing the interview with the patient zero's family. I'm not sure I trust this Osho yet. I'm going to ask for you two to guard the outside. You for this reason. Keep an eye on her and her outside of our interview, not knowing what the fuck we figure out. Here's the deal. You're the best at throwing knives in people's backs. She starts to fuck out. Throw a knife in her back. And also, you're the best one who could probably have to kill her and take her place if for whatever reason that needs to be part of the plan. It's not right now, but like we have to have that option.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan to me. I will get my dagger ready.
All right, so start paying attention to shit like how she paints her nails and what her different like phrases are.
Okay.
So as you guys are kind of continuing down the way after a few hours, you guys are coming up over a rise, and you hear like sudden yelling and frightened sounding howling noises over the rise in the road ahead.
Well,
That sounds vaguely ominous.
yeah. It
Like
does.
evil is afoot.
We gonna kill stuff now? 'Or we could avoid it. What do you think?
You hear among the shouts some calls for help.
Oh, we're going in.
Yeah, I bet we can get a reward for helping these people.
All right, so you kind of rush over the rise, and you see ahead of you there is what looks like a traveling group of small furry humanoids that seem to have come across some trouble. There is a hand cart that is tipped over and is surrounded by turnips scattered everywhere. And there are two of them that are clinging to the side of this overturned cart and shouting for help. And then three more of them are kind of scrambling about, seeking safety. Um, these are you've seen these types of folks before. These are Shunies. Let me get you a picture of some of these dudes. This is a Shuni.
Oh, hell
They
yeah.
are kind of a dog-like race. They basically look like little pug dudes. They're pretty great. But yeah, this appears to be a group of just kind of Shuni farmers or something of some kind, just village folk.
My uncle used to call these easy kickins.
So these Shunies, they continue shouting for help, and you're trying to look around and see why. Like, why are they, like, what are they climbing out of this cart about? Give me a perception check. All right. So all of you are trying to keep an eye on. All of you are trying to pick out like what these Shunies are so worked up about. And you see that in the surrounding grassland, there are these like moving furrows in the ground. And every once in a while, you see amongst these like furrows that are moving around, like what looks like some kind of fin-like protuberance that like rises up and like tosses soil everywhere and then like sinks again. And they're circling around these Shunies and their overturned turnip cart, like basically like sharks, but on land.
Oh dear.
You see, like Asha to the right of you. She has reached behind her and grabbed like the crossbow that she's got off of her back, and she's like, "Fucking bullets!" And she starts like loading a bolt into her crossbow.
Ooh yeah. Bullets. With a stomp and a shout, Grotus is going to get ready to make him come out.
All right, go ahead and roll up initiative.
Oh, wait, I just realized I had rolled initiative instead of perception earlier.
That's okay. Everybody can see the bullets.
Oh, shoot.
Get us all on this map here. Okay, let me share this map.
We've had like some long rests or something, right? I think we didn't have combats last time, or did we?
Last time we did not have any combats. You guys should be fully healed up and have a... I mean, let me do the long rest thing real quick.
Okay.
So it does...
I try to make sure and be very cognizant of my spell slots, so I was like, well, I
Yeah.
don't have any. That's a problem.
Yeah, let me fix that. Where the fuck did they... Where did they move that to? I know they moved it. God damn it. Combat tracker. No. Where? Move this up here. Ah, there's the menu. Okay, menu. Rest. Long rest. Did that work?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Get these little shiny guys over here. I love the way these little goobers look. They're very cute. Okay. All right, and do you all... The map's all shown for you guys, right? Kind of
Yep.
general foresty path looking map. Okay, and I gotta make sure all these things are shown. Show. 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 Okay. Should all be shown. There we go. Perfect. So, yeah, start right at the top of the order here. We have one of the bullets who continues on their turn, just kind of circling And you kind of see this like furrow in the ground kind of moving in a circle around, and this like fin sticking up out of the soil. It continues just circling its these little doggo boys. Let's see. Next one, same thing. Also circles. This one circles. And this one circles. They all circle. Why? Oh, doing the long rest kicked everybody out of initiative. That's like somebody else was first. It shouldn't be everything else first. Hold on. All right, can you guys all roll initiative again? That long rest messed up the order of stuff.
Whoops.
Oh, good. I should have done that first.
It's okay. We rolled terrible the first time.
Well, and you
didn't.
guys all rolled great this time because now all 4 of you are at the top of the order. So
I was at the top of the order the first time.
yep, and now you're still at the top of the order. Things worked out. Okay, so Braz. So yeah, these weird things underground with fins, circling around. Those little doggo boys howling, spooked, trying to get on their cart.
Right. Cool. Well, feeling a little feisty, so gonna make me up a couple alchemist fire, and I'm gonna chuck it towards one of the spine dudes. Okay, let's do the other one.
Yeah, you chuck this fire in its direction, and it just seems to have trouble connecting directly with it as it moves through the ground. It's kind of under the dirt, and it's just not really taken very well. Singes the
I
grass.
wasted my good dice on my initiative.
I guess so. All right.
She's blaming
That's
you,
my
and she
plan.
needs you to know it.
All right, Maz.
I'm gonna target that one,
Okay.
and I'll go ahead and just. Oh wait, I'm not paying attention to where things are. Ha 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 ha. The Sorry, I didn't realize how far away we were.
Oh, we got some ground to cover.
Yeah, you're not too far, but yeah.
We were 45 away.
Yeah, I mean it depends on what you're hitting them with, but yeah.
I'll go ahead and use produce flame.
Okay. Hit 2
Nice.
critically misses. It is hard
no,
to
I
hit
didn't
these
see
with
it.
the flames under the ground.
That's my turn.
All right, Grotus.
Gross is going to move his full ass monk move speed, which is, I think 30. It says 25. That could be 20, right? 25, whatever.
And that might be the base. I don't know if you've had any like stuff that's increased that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 35 monk special thing is my theme. It's
There you
special
go.
movements in there. Yeah, so it's actually 35. So perfect. That puts me within the 15-foot range of my pantograph gauntlets,
Nice.
which let me do my punches like they're fucking punches. So these accordion-like things. Well, first I drop into stumbling stance.
Mm-hmm.
Move, stumbling stance. Flurry of blows with the pantograph. Here they come. He's just like jib jabbing, like flurry of blows with these like accordion gauntlets that stretch out as punches.
Perfect.
And
Perfect.
here they come.
We appreciate the sound design.
There's a rhythm to it. At
Oh,
least to the second one. Or that one's a hero point, just because for the moment.
okay.
Yeah, hero point for an extra 2. All right, and then the second attack. Oh, that would have been a hit. Okay, that's my turn.
All righty. Honker.
Well, I will start my scream, but then I'll stop. And I'll be like, haha guys, just kidding. And because they don't have to go through that, they'll get inspire courage.
Okay.
And then target all of them. There we go. And then second action, I will
Pumpkin.
shout, I declare that Grotus will save you and punch these bullets to death with his accordion fist. I have to say that in order to cast this implement of destruction spell on Grotus.
All right.
So it's affecting huge animal 20 and Grotus. I'll put the effects on Grotus, but
Okay. Yeah.
that only does that. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. So as you guys kind of come running over the hill here and kind of launching these initial attacks, like the couple of Shunies that are over there notice you guys and they kind of start waving in your direction. They're like, "Oh, please, please!" Ooh, critically
Never mind on that.
succeeds on that roll.
Yeah. So my spell doesn't actually do anything.
Okay.
So.
All right, and these guys, see, this would have been the turn they should have had that I did. So these guys are just circling. They keep circling for the moment. All right, the Shunies. They all most of them look to be, they have various like farming tools. Like a couple of them have like a hoe, a couple of them have like a sickle or a stick. But you see them try to just throw dirt. Like they see them like grab like some rocks and dirt at the ground and try to chuck them at these things circling around them in kind of just a desperate attempt. Missing. All 5 of them try this. Miss. Miss.
My head cannon has him on all fours digging. And it's going backward.
All right, they all try. They all give it a good try. They're panicking. They're trying to do what they can without trying to get off this cart. They don't want to be on the ground. But alas, all of them miss. They're just panicked little guys. Asho here has her crossbow out and has a bolt loaded and points it at, let's see here. We'll do huge animal 8. There's Asho. There's Asho. Missing. And missing again. Dang, still missing. These guys are bastards. All right, Scorch.
Tell Scorch to head over to little critters and do what he can to protect them.
Okay. All right, so Scorch kind of runs in this direction of the Shunies here. And that brings us to top of the order with Osho. Who once again tries to shoot at this boulette up here. Where's her bow? There we go. Come on. Hey, there we go.
Finally.
Whew. All right, so she lets a blast off of this crossbow with a shout, and manages to strike this boulette like right at the base of like its fin that's sticking out of the dirt, and you hear this kind of growling, kind of strange, somewhat muffled noise from under the dirt of pain from this creature here, and she lets out like a little cheer and tries to load one more
Again. God damn it.
shot. Misses. All right, Braz.
Okay. I'm gonna move a wee bit closer,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna craft a thunderstone,
Okay.
and we're gonna try that.
Oh,
That's it.
man, these guys are kind of bastards for hitting. All right, Maz.
Guess I'll go up
Okay.
and use my rapier.
All right, smackety smack. Ah. These shouldn't be missing. Hold on, let me take a look at their sheets here. These should be rolling. Some of these should be hitting.
Could they be? They could be just really. This is gonna be a nasty fight, I guess, if we're just absolutely not hitting ever. But
No,
we're
it
not
says
rolling great.
no. It says their AC is 22, so that 26 should have hit. Like that should. Hold on, let me scroll up here. That should have hit, and that one should have hit.
So, do they have any like? What kind of effects do they have on them? We can't see their effects.
Oh yeah,
in
let me
detail.
see. Is there any?
Are they burrowed or something?
What
like
have you
that?
done to us?
This is where we die.
Hmm.
Probably.
Is he in a bad mood? Cause
No.
No.
Well, yes.
okay, I learned to cancel when I'm in a bad mood because that's when players die.
He is upset about Final Fantasy VII, but
You are
he was
much
looking forward to
overestimating
this
that.
because he's been so bored.
Yeah. Hey, what's the point of free ordering when they don't get it to you by the time it's supposed to get there, and it instead shows up like a week late?
Oh, that'll really grind your gears.
Yep.
He took today and yesterday off to stream it, and it didn't show up.
Yeah, now it says it's supposed to get here like next Tuesday. So, I've had nothing to do. Where? Like, there aren't any, like, effects. Yeah, there's no, like, effects. And... yeah, I'm not sure why these aren't... well, okay. Well, since I know what their AC is supposed to be, we'll just go ahead and roll the damage when it's higher than whatever it should be. Because I don't know what's making them not hit, because it should be hitting them. As far as I can tell, unless there's some strange hidden setting, when if there is, fuck it, I don't care. So go ahead and roll damage on that one, Maz.
Okay. Maybe. My computer just went black.
Oh, is it out of power?
No.
Oh. Here we go. Nice. All right, so you stab your rapier into this boulette, and like the other one that Asha would hit, you hear this kind of sound of pain from under the dirt, and you start to see this one kind of like pop up out of the ground a bit more. And these guys look like, you can kind of tell from their token, but yeah, they are literally basically land sharks.
I don't like it.
That's just called a dinosaur, dude.
All right. Scorch.
He'll just have him keep heading over to the little group to protect them.
Okay, so he keeps running in here. Kind of gets up to the Shunies here, and you can see him kind of take a defensive stance around or in front of them here. They seem a little comforted by its presence, and also the rest of you here that seem to be trying to give them at least some sort of a chance against these things here. Honker.
I'll keep the Inspire Courage up,
Okay.
of course. And then instead of taking a gamble, I'll throw a haste on Grotus.
Okay. And what does is the haste like an extra action? Is that how that works in this one?
No, it's so it acts fire. They gain quickened and can. Oh yeah, they do get an extra action.
Ooh.
So, but the extra action can only be used for striking or striding.
Okay, so extra attack or extra movement, I see.
Yep.
Cool.
So that's my turn.
Nice, that's awesome. All right. Let's see. Huge animal, one over here. Continues circling in the ground. 20 is kind of up out of the ground because you guys have been whacking on it. And you see one of its kind of large, kind of clawed front feet that it uses to kind of quickly burrow through the dirt, kind of reach up out of the ground and try to strike at you, Maz. And it misses. It tries one more time.
Pick that bitch.
Hits.
No!
Dealing you some damage as it scrapes at you with its big claws here. Number 8 got hit by Osho, so it's burrowed under the ground, but it starts kind of burrowing in this direction, kind of over towards the rest of you. And this other one, it is still circling the Shunies. Grotus.
Oh yeah. The one that's closing in on the Shunies.
Okay.
That's my new target. Well, I guess they all sort of are, and I would have to use a move action to get that one, so I'm not going to do that just now.
Yeah, and you do have like the destruction bonus against this other one.
Okay. In that case, yes, it's going to get destructed with starting with a flurry of blows
Mm-hmm.
from the pantographs.
Okay, and if it rolls higher than a 22, okay, well that rolled high enough that it whatever it figured out hit anyway. So go ahead and roll that up. Actually, that should have been a critical, wouldn't it have been? Because if their AC is 22, a 33 would be a critical. Yeah, that's 10 higher. That's how that works, right?
Yeah, and do they have like resistances or anything? Because I have a bunch of stuff that's supposed to bypass those.
It doesn't say anything in particular resistance-wise in their effects. So I guess since that should have been a critical according to the AC that's listed in there, go ahead and roll another damage strike from that one because that should have been. Not sure why this is boosting their stuff so high. I don't see why they would be.
Yes, the game wants to kill us.
I guess. All right, that's something. We still got like 3 actions because of this haste, so.
Alright, that one missed.
Yeah, that one missed.
One hit, so he still has to do the fortitude save.
Oh, right. Okay, let me go ahead and do the roll for that. It rolls a 1, so fails.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah, it's stunned. I guess that's
Yeah, that's
more than
yeah, that's
10,
critical.
yes,
That's
so
definitely
that's a
critical fail.
So I think stun 2.
I think you're right. Yeah, so it only has like 1 action then. If I remember how that works.
Yeah. Fortitude save or stun 3 on a critical failure. So it's stun 3.
Oh, stun 3. Okay, it's just like stunned. Okay.
Yeah, he's knocked the fuck out for now.
Nice.
And that means I'm not going to bother using the feint to do my 3rd attack straight on him.
Okay. And I think was that including the extra action that you got from the haste?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so I think you still got an action from that because of the haste.
Okay.
First ride. Yeah, boy.
Okay, and that would have missed. That's 21. Okay. All right. The Shoonies.
Probably would have. Did he have the stunning thing put on him? Because I don't know what the whole stun effect is on his AC or whatever.
Oh, that's a good point. Let's see. Stun.
If he adds it, you can drag and drop the attack again on him, the same one, and it might change. I don't know.
Let's see. Okay, according to stun, yeah, it takes away your actions. Stun. Let's see. That does stunned effect.
No, apparently not.
Yeah, it doesn't mention anything about that. It's just they just can't act. Interesting.
No actions. Okay, yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Shoonie Boys here continue kind of frantically throwing little rocks and dirt and whatnot at these guys. Oh, that one almost hits. And they do not. Darn. They're trying real hard, though.
Hey, Mook, when you get a chance, could you reshare the map with me?
Oh,
Kick that
yeah. There you go.
Thank you.
Here, and I'll reshare the motivational image. What we're precious thing, the precious guy we're saving here. All right.
That's actually not motivating for me. Pugs freak me out.
That's fair. All right, Grotus.
All right. Diving headfirst into his enemy. More stumbling strikes. And by diving headfirst, that's a feint. So the first one goes kind of like and like hits the ground in front of the bullet. And then the second one, he like peppers him across the face. And then that's the one I'm going to roll the attack on.
Valid.
Nice.
After I got to roll the deception for the first one.
Okay. Yep. Nice.
And a strike. I got to add the flat-footed, whatever it's called now.
Right.
Off guard.
Yeah, off guard. That's right.
Oh, God.
Oh. We keep getting fucking 21s. Ooh, there we go.
Beautiful.
Wait. that was the flurry blows. He's got to roll his fortitude again.
Ah, yes. Okay. Rolling fortitude. 3.
Critical failed again. No actions.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and that was 2, so 20. Okay. Was that the one that was already stunned, or was that, did we have 9 stunned last time?
Oh, I guess it was huge animal 20 I was still wailing on. I should probably turn my ire to huge animal 9 instead. So huge animal 9 with my remaining action. I'll use the last stumbling strike I have.
Okay. Ah.
Critical miss. At least I know it. Maybe it feels the whiff on it.
All right. Number 1 over here. It continues kind of moving under the ground, and then you see it kind of leap at this one of these shoonies here on the southern end. Let's see. Oof.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Yep, this is where we all die.
He leaps and chomps at this poor little shoonie guy with the fishing pole here on the cart, and he gets taken down by a shark. And you see the other shoonies, they kind of like yell in fear, and you hear one of them kind of shout out, Heggy! All right, this one is the one that is very stunned and has no actions.
R.I.P. Haggis.
Yep, our R.I.P. Heggy. He
Oh.
was a real one. Let's see, which one was that one? That was this guy.
What do you mean? Which one was that one? Are you saying they all look alike?
Oh, that blood splatter hurts.
Oof. Poor guy. All right, this one, let's see, got hit by a couple of you dudes. Oh, yeah, that's the one that was heading towards Osho. So it continues moving under the ground. It passes like kind of between like Maz and Grotus here. You see this like kind of furrow in the ground moving, and it pops up and tries to claw at Osho here. Ooh, ah. Giving her quite a smackaroo. And then this other one here in the middle, it dives underground and is kind of moving around towards Grotus here. Brings us to Honker.
I will. Let me look at the combat record. Okay, I will put up the inspire courage
Mm-hmm.
again. And then I will. This works actually. So I will move kind of forward,
Mm-hmm.
and I will fall to the ground, and I'll scream, and the Matryoshka horror begins. Thus casting Dirge of Doom.
Okay.
I might have to move just a little closer, but it's a 30-foot emanation off of me. Everything's frightened.
Okay.
No. There's no
No
so
save. It just
check.
is.
Yeah, this is just so horrifying that they're frightened. I think it'll probably just get these two that are closest for now, but
Yeah, I think so.
there we go. And then let me see. I will goodness, I have a sling. I guess I'll try and hit the one closer to me with a sling.
Okay. That hits.
What the hey? Okay. There we go.
All right. Good shit.
That's my turn.
All right. Asho is, kind of in pain here from this nasty claw strike, but she reloads bolt into her kind of hefty, heavy crossbow that she's got, and tries to point blank blast him into this boulette here. Okay, that's a miss. That one should have hit. That's a 22 AC, so we're going to roll. All right. Shoots that right into the schnoz. And that one is a miss still. All right, you can see her kind of trying to... She, like, her one of her arm of her coat that got hit is all kind of torn up, and you can see her trying to use it to kind of tie up her arm a little bit. Maz.
Me. Bup, 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 bup. Come on, map. Come on, map. I'm gonna move out of this danger zone. And just move to the other side of it. Target huge animal 9. And use my rapier. I'm gonna do it again. Oh no.
Nice. Okay. I am gonna go ahead and try Alchemist Fire again on the middle critter. And not do a good job. That's my turn.
Shooting is here, or slightly more panicked given that Hank got jumped. And, they're sprouting to try to get up on top of this cardboard. As little as that seems to be helping, but
Hey, that might work. They might not like vegetables.
You fucking go, dude. All right, those two, they just do a flat one damage.
Oh, 22 hits.
Yeah, 20
Okay. And one of my alchemist fires would have actually hit.
Oh shit, right, that's right. Okay, yeah, 20 is supposed to hit. For some reason, I think these guys are way higher AC than the list they have. I don't know why they
I can go ahead and.
go ahead and roll whatever you're supposed to roll for that.
And then it actually has persistent one fire too. Let's see if I can drag that on there. Okay.
Cool, okay, sweet. So yeah, the genius are all trying to turn up and stuff. One of the man just kind of bonking up and it doesn't want to do. But otherwise, they're not particularly effective fighters, clearly. Application is language, I guess. Scorch. One of these guys got much behind him. What's Scorch doing?
I think for right now he's just gonna stay where he's at. Yeah, I don't really want him getting munched.
Mm-hmm. All right, huge animal 8 is 0% stunned, right?
Yeah. 8 is unstunned at all. The 20 is the one that's still stunned from your level 3 one. It goes down like what, like tier each turn.
Unless it's 3.
So it's been 2 still pretty stunned. One hasn't been hit by anything. Besides pushing anything in the turn.
Nice.
Fair and valid.
Which is, yeah, totally valid and brave.
It was an emotional blow.
Will he ever survive? So first, actually, yeah, first flurry of blows. Number 8.
Oh, so close.
Ooh, not close.
Ooh.
And then deception. Yeah, deception. To faint on that guy. So he is off guard? Yeah, okay. So final attack against his off guard. That's a hit. All right. Ooh, no stun, but good damage.
And then how long does that haste like last?
Ding. 1 minute.
Okay, sweet. Regardless, just have sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can still have another action bonus.
Okay. Then with that, I'm going to stride, because I don't think even with that I can still only make 3 strikes, right?
I think because the haste is like where that could be a strike or a stride.
Yep. Striker stride. Yep.
I've already made 3 strikes. I don't think you can make more than 3 strikes, even if you have the extra action.
Yeah, you that's what haste is for. It just takes penalty 3, I believe.
Okay.
I
I'm
don't
still
know.
going to use this to move over this way, so I'll be within striking range of all 3 of them. and effectively try to keep them all stunned whack-a-mole style until they're dead.
It's great. All right.
Okay. I'm gonna move a little closer to Scorch. And then I am just gonna make one alchemist fire and throw it at Big Boy 20 there. Okay. But it's okay. Got him last time, so he's got the persistent damage on him already. Shouldn't that do it automatically since I put it on him?
Oh wait, it should be on his turn. That's right.
Okay, that'll be my turn.
Continue to shoot at this one. Nice.
Ooh, good damage.
That should also be a hit. That's
Noise.
not the best roll, but still some stuff, and it's enough to take out number 8. Okay, you hear it come out of that. Hell yeah. That one goes down. Brings us to Scorch. Looking at what she needs.
I'm gonna move him so he's positioned a little bit more in between the baddies to protect the little doggies a little bit better.
Like under if he's south or
Yeah, right, yeah.
alright, is he attacking?
No.
We do still have an extra action to attack stuff.
Well, yeah, then I guess go ahead and have him do it one.
Tries to fight at here, right? This bunker.
I will move forward. What's my move speed here? 25. So I'll move forward. 25. And then that puts, yep, both of these should be frightened as long as I do my dirge again. So this time the dirge is all of these clowns running towards this cart, screaming, "We will save you! We will save you!" Um, so I will drop that on that one, and then the other one, and then that should also inspire courage on all of my friends. There we go. That'll be my turn.
Okay. Alright, number 1 here. Turns its attention to Scorch since he's trying to go after it here. Tries to. He does have a leave a minus because of frighten. Yeah, frighten is the. Alright, so he tries to attack at Scorch. That hits. Alright. Scratching at Scorch here from the ground with these big claws. Tries.
Again, stop. I'm gonna move towards this guy and use my rapier since that's been working for me. Not that time.
Close.
Or that time. Or that time.
Okay. Now they're kind of just swarming around the cart because they're probably not tall enough to get in. And they're just screaming, I'm helping, and that will take up 2 of my actions to keep the frightened and the courage up. So then I'll try and hit another one with a sling. Alright, that's my turn.
Well, make up your mind. Is he missing or hitting?
All right, I'm gonna move up. And I have not had much luck with any bombs, so I'm gonna just try to hit with my club. Hope for the best. Yay. Okay, once more. Well, damn, maybe I should have been doing this the whole time.
And just try again.
I believe in you.
Oh, thank you. It was not enough.
All right, I'll believe harder.
It
Oh,
worked.
believe it or not, it worked.
Well,
Oh. Okay, now I am.
That was enough. That was
Oh. Yay.
the Shunies over on the park here. They are, they're still kind of at a very high state of emotion right now. They're all like, and you see like the one with like a hat, the fish girl, he kind of takes off his hat, and kind of holds it over his chest, and kind of looks at me. And the other ones are all also kind of turned around, looking sad at where their compatriot was.
How funny would that have been if they're like, "Oh, thank God that idiot's dead. We were tired of him."
Fuck Steve. But yeah, they're kind of more their friends here, but then they're kind of turning to you and they're like, "Oh, thank you, travelers. Oh, if you hadn't been there to save us, well, I'm afraid we all would have gone the way to take you. But thank you.
Sure thing.
The one with the hat, he kind of docks it in your direction.
We all know Maslow's a good hat.
It's a nice little fisherman's hat.
Good hat and a good dog.
He docks his hat in your direction. The name's Harbordoo. Thanks for saving us. We were just trying to get back to town from doing some market work from our market stuff, and we didn't expect to see these nasty bugs out here.
These are my
pals and farm compatriots. Thank God.
Why is nobody ever named like Paul? Why is it always these crazy names?
Haggerty and Hoberty, you guys are the best. We're glad you made it. Sorry we're here later. Is this kind of stuff happening more recently? Is there other kind of dangerous stuff in town? You guys don't seem prepared for this level of threat. No offense. Glad you're alive. Love you here.
no.
Love a good shovel.
I'm so sorry. I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but could I have a turnip instead? Doesn't even hesitate as he's saying that. Grabs one, just bites right into it. That's a nice shovel.
shovel what can dig on its own. Pretty neat.
Excellent. But does it all?
Grotus accepts it with two hands, lightly, gratefully, honorably, looks down at the pugman, and with eyes wide and true sincerity says, "Thank you. This is a true gift." He looks up at the sky and the trees around them and says, "The world is my latrine. At our command." At any minute, friends, we shall have our shit pit. By the time it takes to let the coffee cool, drink the coffee, exhume the coffee, we will have the shit pit already dug with no hands dissullied. Truly, pugmen and pugwomen, you've done great service. Please, you're so fucking cool. Can we help escort you the rest of the way to town? Also, I have good news and bad news and an important question.
Yes, of course.
First, the bad news. It seems that terrible strife and death has come to your village, and we need to know about any important people or strange weirdos who have come through town recently. Seems somebody has come and brought death to your thing. The good news is we are strange weirdos coming to your town who will be easily remembered and stick out, but we come to bring good stuff and less death. The important question: what do you know about anyone who's died in their sleep recently and weirdos who came through town around that time?
As you kind of finish relating this tale here, he kind of nods a bit and he's like, "Oh, are you? I heard there was some traveling group that had arrived in Carrick recently. Are you them? Are you entertainers of some kind?"
Grotus is like spinning the shovel over his head behind his back in like a helicopter, like monk kata. And like, yeah, that's us.
"Oh, that's wonderful. Well, if you ever come to Matt and Cleve with your show, I promise I will bring our entire clan to the next show."
What's
Badass,
your
man.
clan name?
Let's see. That would be... I will make them one right now, because I just had their first names.
And can you give us like 5 to 10 facts or significant events in the history of your clan? Because
Let's see. Their last name is the Pagwing clan.
Egwin?
Pagwing.
Egwin.
Pagwing.
That's a very nice clan name. We look forward to seeing your entire clan at our next show.
Well, these lovely exchanges are going on. I actually would like to kind of investigate the body of one of these shark critters.
Okay. Sure. So, let's see. You go take a look over these boulettes here. And let me see if there's anything in particular. Roll a nature check. See if you know much about these things. Okay, so Boulettes. They are. You've heard a lot of tales about these before. Like, they aren't super common, but people tell tales about them that are usually kind of the kind of scary tales you tell around a campfire. Because they're kind of fearsome. They swim through the ground and get you like a shark. Uh, at your house, on your farm, stuff like that. And you feel like you've heard tales of like small towns being like wiped off the map before from a bunch of boulettes that like descended upon the town and ended up killing everybody there. Uh, but otherwise, people don't really seem to know a whole lot about them. They're kind of rare, hunger-driven shark creatures.
That like eating towns.
Yeah, well, they like eating the people in the towns.
Oh, I would have thought a town would taste better, but
Yeah,
to
the
each
buildings
their
aren't really
own.
their style, unfortunately. It's the juicy bits inside the buildings.
Oh, that's fair.
As you're standing here with these Shoonies kind of shooting the shit, one of the other ones speaks up aside from the one you've been talking to, because you've been talking to Horberdew. And let's see which one speaks up here. Let's see. Let's have this one is the one that was introduced as Burnbamon, and he speaks up a bit, and he says, this is a kind of in response to you guys being from like the circus and being kind of like wayward travelers and stuff. He's like, I went to a circus a long time ago, and I haven't seen one in a long time, but you guys usually have a lot of strange. You like the strange and the weird and the interesting. Is that right?
Seems to be we're made of it, yeah.
Oh, well, if you're looking for something interesting, I have a cousin of mine, and she lives down in Castonley. She works as a grave digger down there. Her name is Borloo, and she is kind of weird. She likes to sing to she likes to sing to the ghosts, and if you're looking for someone new, uh, she could probably use the work. If you need something interesting and strange, uh, look her up, Borloo in Castonley.
What's so weird about singing to ghosts?
It just seems like it would be an interesting circus act. If she came out and was singing to ghosts, that seems like that could be entertaining and strange for the circus. I know she's been looking for work aside from what she does. Maybe this is an opportunity.
We're open to all kinds of new art forms.
Yeah, this sounds like so cool. Like I want to meet this chick.
Well, if your show ever takes you down to Castonley, just go find her over in the graveyard and ask for Borloo and tell her Burnbamon sent you.
Okay.
Somebody else is gonna have to remember that name because I will never remember that name.
It's going in the notes.
It's going in.
I forgot it as soon as it was said. Why do these characters have to have such crazy names?
Yeah, she needs some very interesting little naming conventions. I was looking them up, and their names are always like just really like they're not very long, and they're usually kind of a guttural bunch of like vowels because they're just like so they all have kind of little strange names.
Someday we're gonna come across somebody. Their name's gonna be Bob, and it's gonna be the best day ever because it's gonna be the one NPC I remember.
I feel like if I remember correctly, the guy that ran the chicken nugget restaurant in Waterdeep had like a really normal ass name. I feel
Yeah,
like it was
and
like
we
Todd
went
or
there all the
something.
time.
We went there all of the time because Boo and Torta were addicted.
Yeah, they
Probably
were
something
slightly
like
addictive
that.
chicken nuggets.
That
Very
sounds like
true.
a Todd thing.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was like a Todd or a something around. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
can't
was
remember
like
exactly,
a
but
semi-normal name.
yeah, it was a very normal name for a guy running a place making chicken nuggets out of
Basilisks.
not basilisks, the cockatrices.
Cockatrice.
Yeah, they're cockatrice
Yeah.
nuggets. Oh, what a time! All right, so the Shoonies here, they kind of get their cart back up, and you get their turnips back together, and the uh, Horpidoo takes a little time. He kind of makes a little pile with some rocks at the side of the road, and like marks it with a little stick for Heggy.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. And they kind of get their stuff together to head back, continuing down the road on their way.
Okay. So we definitely escort them.
Yeah, you guys can kind of certainly follow along with them the rest of their way. So as you guys are, well, actually, before we get into that, we are basically halfway through. So let's take our little break here and get water, do whatever you got to do. Go use the Shoonie shovel and take a shit in the woods. With the biggest latrine that you ever had.
Perfectly proportional.
Perfect, yeah, perfect square latrine hole.
Is it
Don't have to
something
dig
where
it
like you
yourselves, don't have
murder
to
people for using your latrines now, like because they're just yours?
Yeah, sometimes I pop open a new one. I don't even need it.
All right. All right, so we'll come back at like 7:45 and continue on our merry way with our little pug boys here.
Right on.
Okay, so you guys are on the road with the remaining Goonies and their cart of turnips. And as you guys are making your way up the verdant passage here, you're just kind of having idle chit chat, and one of them asks you, "So, what brings you all Matt and Cleve way, anyways? Are you guys trying to find a spot for your show, or what brings you to town?"
We are scouting locations for our next grand performance.
That's great. I'm sure the Cleve would love to see it. People would enjoy the happiness of a circus.
Yeah, we'd love to come on down. Specifically, there's some people in town we'd like to visit and cheer up and learn about some more.
Oh, who you looking to visit?
Somebody of the Hildefort kind family.
So the one that you guys are looking for that's here is the Carews place.
Carews, yes, the Carews place, the old Carews place, actually.
And the Shoonie on the cart kind of looks at you all for a bit and says, "Old Carews place. Oh, nobody's lived out there for years. That place is abandoned."
Really now, what's wrong with it?
Or well, sorry, not years, for a year. Nobody's lived up there for a year. After the old man died, well, the place kind of went in disrepair. Well, I hate to speak ill of fellow folk around here, but he wasn't really well liked.
Oh, well, I appreciate your honesty. This could save lives right now if you could spare the niceties for the already dead. And morally, it would be best, even if it might seem distasteful at the time. What made him so perhaps not as favored among his neighbors and peers?
So
Did he smell like farts?
And
Because
pickles.
Grotus says you have to bathe at least once a month or you smell like farts and people don't like you.
Smelled too much like farts. Too much like farts.
so the Horridu kind of thinks here for a bit, and he's like, "Well, old man Kuru, like his farm did pretty well. Like he was fine in that regard. He wasn't really crazy wealthy, but he got by with his farm. But he was kind of a cruel and miserly, grumpy old codger, and he just wasn't very nice to his neighbors or to the community. He just was never really interested in any of that. He just kind of kept to himself and was just kind of an angry old bastard. And when he died like a year ago, well, I can't really say the community mourned him very much, and he didn't really have any known heirs or a will, and so the farm went into probate from the city, and I don't think that ever got cleared up. And people don't really bother to go out there just because he was such a grumpy old bastard that he had a bit of a reputation, and nobody wants to go over there in case his old pissy ghost is still haunting around.
Fair point. Stubborn bastards can linger after death. I intend to.
But
So, was there anybody, a bird of a feather, anyone he would tolerate, closely call a friend or a least hated neighbor?
oh goodness, no, he kept to himself out there, and well, nobody ever really wanted to go out and visit the guy. Any interactions we had with him in town, he was just a miserable old fuck, and nobody liked him.
Seems that he
Oh,
would stay out of town.
I'm sorry, this feels very mean, but
No. You're, like I said, saving lives by filling in details crucial to the investigation. You're absolved. And then Grotus makes some kind of like vaguely obscene religious gesture.
Well, if you're wanting to go over and just take a look at the place, like I'm not sure what would really be out there of interest to you, but I know there's a path that splits off the main road here that's a little faster to get over there from this direction, because otherwise you'd have to go all the way up to the Cleve and then back out of town down. But you can kind of cut across a ways through some of these fields here to get over to Old Carews.
Yeah, let's take the frontier path.
And like Asho hears you all discussing this, and she's like, would you like me to follow the rest of these folks up to Matt and Cleve to make sure they get there safe, and maybe I can meet you at Old Carews later?
Yeah.
Yeah, keep an eye on these shoomies, make sure they get there safe.
Overdew kind of tips his hat in your direction and is like, that's right, kind of you. And Asho kind of moves up in the cart here and kind of posts herself up among the Shoonies here to keep an eye on them, and waves you all off as you guys come up to this. It's somewhat overgrown, but you can tell there's kind of a path here. It's a kind of a farm track. Looks like it was just kind of from a cart or something that went this way enough times that there's somewhat of a path here, but definitely not in high use. But she'll keep an eye on these guys up to the Cleve and see you guys later.
Cool.
All right.
Cut through the fields over to the Carews place.
All right. So it's from where you guys are off the road here. It's like a mile and some off of the road that you guys head up this farm track, just kind of traipsing along the fields here. And like for the most part, you can see kind of looking out over the crops and things as you're walking through. Stuff's growing in and coming along, but like it just doesn't look as strong as you'd expect for like this time of year. Like there are some ears of corn on the corn stalks, and some of the wheat seems to be coming to a head, but everything seems to look a little weaker than you would think for when it is. But eventually you do kind of come out of you start going through some fields that definitely look like they have not been cared for very well or sown this season. They're pretty overgrown, just a lot of kind of grasses and weeds and whatnot, and and some like seeds from former crops that have fallen here that grew, but it's definitely not tilled or taken care of much at all. And you see a few buildings, what looks like a house and maybe like a barn of some kind ahead of you here. There's no lights coming from inside it. The windows are all dark, and you see that the part of the roof on the main like farmhouse looks to be kind of collapsed in on itself, and you see like some of the ground around here close to the tower, or not close to the tower, close to the farm is a bit yellowed. You remember hearing in Carrick about how like the Wellspring Tower, which is in this area, and you can actually kind of see it off in the distance. It's several more, it's probably like 4 or so more miles to the east of you from here. But you see one of the Wellspring Tower, which was described as being in this area, off in that way. And looking off in that way, you see that you can almost kind of see a yellowing kind of spreading out from that tower. You heard about there was some sort of weird blight or something happening to the land in this area, and you definitely seem to see evidence of that. But yeah, the farmstead itself, it's got the house, it's got the barn. The barn still looks stable. Like, it definitely looks a little run down, but it's not collapsed at all. The walls of the house still look intact. Like, part of the roof is gone and fallen in, but the house itself, the walls are up. There's a front porch with some decorative columns that are a little warped. the door of the house kind of hangs open limply on its hinges here. I'll get a map up here.
It's spooky.
Explore time.
Oops. Grotus. Scorch. Okay. You're all here outside. So to the directly to the west of you is the farmhouse, and then to the north of you is the looks like some kind of barn. It's got like a kind of a sliding barn door on it, and there's also like a well in between both of these that you can see.
Okay. So, seeing how creepy and collapsed it is, Grotus is going to take a look around and see if any places seem to have been maybe more worn than others.
Okay.
Like everything should have an even amount of dirt and sediment over it, unless it's been walked on a lot recently.
Sure. Roll a perception check as you're checking around for that.
Great job.
Okay. Thank goodness for those bonuses. You kind of go poking around the area here, and just from like looking at the buildings and the ground around here, like it really doesn't look like anybody has been out here in probably a year. I mean, like Horbadu was relaying to you, nobody liked this guy, and he died, and nobody was here to claim this, and nobody seems to want it, and so it's just kind of sat here and rotted in probate with the city.
All right. Let's check out this door on the west side here.
Okay. Let's see. So this, you kind of push open the door, which again it's just kind of limply hanging here on its hinges. Doesn't go in without much resistance. So the roof over the main portion of the house collapsed some time ago. So the elements have had a bit of their way in here. There's some like roof beams and some broken shingles lying on simple furnishings. There is a door in the wall to the northwest, which looks to go into another part of the house. Otherwise, there are windows around the edges here that kind of look out over the farmland, but they are somewhat dusty. There's also an intact fireplace and chimney on the northern side. Yeah, otherwise, nothing in here. Like everything in here, like the way the furniture looks, aside from it being old and rotten, like it seems like it was decent furniture. Like he had decent furnishing at some point. Nothing fancy, but nice. But yeah, weather's taken its toll.
Yeah.
Okay. Start poking around, see what's in door number 1 here on the left.
Okay, that is a window. So all of these are windows, aside from the northwest corner. That one, yeah. All right, so that one is actually locked. So you try this door, and to your surprise, it doesn't budge. It seems pretty solidly locked. You kind of jiggle at the doorknob a bit, and trying to see if the age of the place is gonna let you sway through here, but no, it seems to be pretty well locked.
Rotting collapsed wood and some hinges. Grotus is going to drop into what he calls his lockpick kick stance.
Okay, so you're gonna need to do an athletics check for me on this door if you're gonna give it a smackaroo. Okay, 30. All right, that is enough. So you launch this kick into this door right at the lock here and manage to bust through that. And you find beyond here a little bedroom. So the bedroom here is surprisingly intact, given the state of the other part of the house that you were just in. There aren't any windows in here, although there are sills and frames on the walls as though to indicate where windows should be, which seems odd. There is a single narrow bed against the far wall, and its blankets are pretty moldy, but also twisted up as if whoever the last occupant of this bed was did not rest easily. Like it looks like they were tossed and turned in. And beside the bed is a simple nightstand with a candlestick that is lit.
Man, that must be one amazing candle.
Gross is going to approach the lit candle.
All right. So you are all of you in here in the
Yeah.
house? Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you as you all are in here kind of looking around, and there's this this candle that's inexplicably lit, the weirdness with the windows that seem like they should be there but aren't, and you guys can kind of feel a heaviness in this room here, and all of you kind of hear a faint muttering, like it's just kind of it's like just out of reach of your ears at just initial glance, but you feel like you hear it saying some kind of name. You hear something. You hear what sounds like Swinton or Swanton or something. Sounds like some kind of name. And you also hear Vandy.
Swinton and Vandy? Okay.
Opera Vandy, maybe?
Yeah. But yeah, like unless you try to like concentrate on it, you can't hear anything. Like at the moment, you're all just hearing kind of muttering.
Follow the source of the muttering. I also want to kind of like knock my knuckles against the boarded up or stoned up windows.
Okay. All right. So you kind of like knock against them, and it seems like it's just more wall, but like again, it just strikes you as very odd that there's these what seems like there should be a window there. Like it's still got a sill, it's still got a frame. It's just wall. Doesn't really seem to make any sense why it would be that way. The rest of you as you're kind of poking around, are any of you trying to like concentrate on the muttering at all?
I want to do an Arcana check in here.
Sure.
Well, never mind.
Yeah, you don't seem to sense anything particularly magical. You just kind of feel this weight
Well,
in
I
the
guess
muttering.
I'll try to concentrate on the voice then.
Okay. Anybody who's concentrating on the voice, roll me a perception.
Damn, Grotus.
Okay.
I listen to voices in my head all the time.
That's true, you do.
That's true. All right, so Grotus, you managed to make out some more of these words as you focus on this muttering, and you just hear what sounds like a very kind of angry old man voice, saying, "Old lady Swinton's broke, and Roger Swinton can rot in his grave. Should have sold me that acre, Roger. Your widow's gonna starve. Don't tell her about Vandy. No, no, no. Vandy's money is blood money. Blood money now. She rides with spurs of fire. The night lady. Oh, the fire it burns." And he just like keeps like muttering and repeating this.
Damn it. And can we pinpoint where it's coming from? At all? Like,
Let's see.
or is it
So
just everywhere?
it's just kind of everywhere in this room. Like it seems like this room in particular is a haunt. Like it is haunted by this old man Kuru. He died here and he's still here and still pissed about whatever the fuck he's going on about. Like this whole room of his house is just kind of filled with just this hate of this guy.
Anybody know how to do a seance?
Hey, what can we do to calm you down? Do the mutters change at all? Like if we try and talk to it?
Opera Vandy sent us here.
That's a bold
Taking
move.
taking the ghost hunters route.
You're whipping it out. What you got?
Sup, boys? Sup, demons? It's me, your boy.
I heard you were talking shit.
So at you say the name Opera Vandy in here, and you hear this really like ethereal, like screech of anger from just kind of all around you guys, and you all suddenly feel like it was already a little chilly in here compared to the rest of the house, along with all the other spooky shit. But it is significantly colder in here now, and you see like kind of in the middle of the room, um, kind of towards the door here, you see this kind of vague shape somewhat materialize. It has like a vaguely humanoid kind of shadow man looking shape, but it's just kind of floating here in between the door, and you can just feel this like icy cold and anger radiating off of it, and it lets out another one of these screams here.
He said you smelled like farts. But like bad ones, not the good ones.
Grotus has an ability to attune his fists, but to cold iron, the one that hurts ghosts.
Okay.
Or whatever metal. He's got metal strikes. He can turn it for purposes of spell resistance. He could make his hands have the effects of whatever metal.
Okay.
But that's just kind of like so much hand waving in front of the guy, the spirit, and then just wants to know, how's it blood money? How's Vandy's money blood money?
So you continue to try to inquire of this spirit, but like aside from your presence and the mentioning of Vandy's name, it doesn't seem to be in a conversational mood. It just seems to repeat this bit about the Swintons and that they should have sold him an acre, and about Vandy being blood money, and then of course lastly about this night lady riding with fire.
What do you know about the night lady?
Again, he does not wish to speak. He just keeps going on with whatever mad haunted ravings is going on.
Oh shit! I'm gonna blow out the candle.
Okay. All right. So you blow out the candle, and you feel the coldness in the room kind of lift, and the shadowy presence you saw here in the door kind of dissipates. You still kind of like feel like something's here, but it's not like as active at the moment. It seems to have like calmed for the moment, but you're not sure if, like, at least from like I guess it would be I guess it'd be like an occultism roll. I don't know if it'd be a Grotus. We want Gross to do that, or Honker or someone.
Yeah, he's gonna like pass the candlestick, like passing the baton. Like, hey, you creepy folk, but there's some vibes coming off of this or this room, maybe.
Okay, so Honker, you you know a little bit about haunts, and so typically a haunt is like a spiritual echo of someone who died some kind of tragic death. And usually putting a haunt to rest involves resolving whatever the haunt's unfinished business is. And if it isn't properly put to rest, it'll, it might go away for a time, but it'll come back if its business is not finished.
So we gotta solve this guy's bullshit, or it will always be here. How long ago did he die? Did you say?
Year?
Yeah, it was a little over a year. It's 14 months ago that this guy passed away, and he was the first one that died after one of these strange nightmares that Vandy had.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was wondering, was the timing in relation to that. Perfect. Okay, thank you.
But yeah, I mean, for now, like with this candle put out, like it seems to have dimmed a little bit. But yeah, with Honker's knowledge about haunts, it seems he'll probably come back and still just be here in this room, being pissed about whatever this business is with the Swintons and some night lady and Vandy and fire. So
Let's check out the other structure over here.
sure. All right, so you head back outside and open the door of the barn here, so that it slides to the side, kind of big barn door. So the barn, like it's in somewhat rickety shape, but the structure still seems pretty sound. The main door opens into a long barn, rife with the smell of musty straw and decay. There are 3 horse stalls that line the eastern side, and the walls of this barn are somewhat widely spaced, and there's light kind of filtering in from the outside that gives the interior a kind of dusty glow from all the particulate in the air. And you see standing in each of the 3 stalls is just the unmoving skeleton of a horse.
Aha.
What?
Okay.
Skeleton horse. Beautiful.
So
Anybody got
that's-
like an apple core or some rotten bread?
I got my turnip.
Yeah, let's see if the skeletal horse would like a turnip.
So Braz, you approach one of the skeletal horses with this turnip here. And like you notice, as long as you've been in here, like these things have not moved. Like they are just absolutely still, just skeletons of horses. And as you kind of like tentatively hold up this turnip to it and kind of touch the front of its, its skull with it, it just kind of crumbles to dust. It just kind of crumbles away. Like they don't seem to be animate in any way. They're just
Standing horse skeleton.
Yep, they're just standing sword skeletons. Honker, from your occultism roll from earlier, you feel like this is probably a part of the manifestation of the haunt of this area. Is like with haunts, they can cause a number of like strange effects on the area that is haunted. So things like the windows disappearing, or in this case, these skeletons just being raised up, but not animated in any way, but they're just raised up. There's a lot of weird shit that can happen with haunts, and it seems like this is all just part of this same manifestation that's caused by the spirit of Karu that's still stuck here for some reason.
Oh, good, because I really didn't want to give up my turnip.
So somehow the night lady gets involved in this guy's grudge.
Indeed, it seems.
Maybe there's some occultism signs around in his personal effects. Did we search those well enough?
Yeah, you could certainly go take a look. So if you head back in there and search around, give me just like a perception for poking around the drawers and things that are in his room here. Very nice. So, Braz, Grotus, you guys are poking around, and you don't find too much of interest aside from old clothes and mouse droppings and stuff, but you do find that the bottom drawer of the kind of side table has a false back. And you kind of pull it off a bit, and you find in there kind of a little hidden stash of, just kind of emergency cash or something, you guess, but it's got 2 platinum pieces, 13 gold pieces, a little over 1,000 silver pieces, and 3 pretty nice looking pearls. Looks like this was this guy's little bank
Miser
stash.
Yeah. Like it.
Right.
That's a good find, guys.
But yeah, aside from that, nothing particularly like occult related or anything strange in that regard, just aside from the haunt manifestations around here.
Guess we gotta investigate the Swintons next.
Yeah, I think we should go talk to them and see if we can figure out more about what's happening.
Clearly, it was a grudge deep and dark enough to start some kind of haunt that's haunted the shit out of this place.
Indeed.
All right, then maybe just check out the well real quick and be on our merry way. Check out this little courtyard area.
Sure.
Something creepy about the well.
So the well, you take a look around here, it's about 12 feet deep, and it looks like it's got a few feet of water down in the bottom. But nothing else particularly notable. It's just it's just got the old crank chain with a bucket on it here. But yeah, otherwise nothing particularly notable.
Is the bucket down in the well or is it up top?
The bucket is currently down in the well.
We should probably lift that up.
Yeah, let's pull that bucket up. I could use some water before the trip back to town.
I swear, if there's a head in it, it's gonna be the coolest thing I've seen in my whole life.
You
Well,
pull you pull the bucket up out of the well. There's unfortunately not a head in the bucket. It
Is
does
that
it
unfortunate?
does smell kind of funky though.
the well water smells funky.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Interesting. Anybody got alchemical sniffing stuff?
Hello.
Yeah, that's Braz's cup of tea.
Maybe you can identify as the solution.
Let's give it a shot. What do I need to roll for that?
Uh, probably nature. Okay. So you kind of you take a look at this water. Maybe take a little drop of it and see what it tastes like. You don't notice anything, like alchemical compound wise that's wrong with this water. But it is like exceedingly bitter. And you kind of assume this is probably also just part of the haunt manifestation.
The water is bitter because of the ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Because the ghost is bitter.
Yep.
Who knew?
The anger has tainted the land, the soil, the water, the air, the animals. Fuck it. Let's track down the Swintons, pull the evil out by the root, boil it down to its component atoms, get fucked up.
Yeah. And then do some circusing.
Right. That's the
Yeah,
plan.
our primary job.
get fucked up and do some stunts in front of people for coin.
I like doing circusing.
Right? Smiles, smiles. That's what we do.
I'm the best
Indeed.
clown.
Yes, you are.
You do elicit
Goddamn
very
right you are.
strong emotions.
So,
Alright,
if you do, so you could try going up the road into Matt and Cleve. Maybe try to find the Urshuni friends, see if they know anything about Swinton's. Um,
Were we not anticipating our other friend meeting us here, or did she make it?
she has not made it yet. Like it hasn't been super long. Like there was still a little ways up the road to get to Matt and Cleve.
Alright.
And you kind haven't spent enough time here for her to get to Matt and Cleve and then back down the road. But if you go up you can see there's kind of a main kind of farm track that headed out of here up to the northwest towards town, different from the one that you guys crossed in through the fields. So if she was coming down to meet you guys, you might run into her along that road.
Well, we should probably go look for her, right?
she'll find us. You know, we should be on the trail.
Okay, I've been practicing. I can take her place.
I mean, she knows the area so fucking well, right? She should catch up.
Okay. So do we want to go try to find information in town about these Swintons, or if anything we can see?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you guys kind of head out from the Kuru's place, and as you guys are kind of moving away from the property, you definitely feel kind of a bit of a weight lifted off your shoulders here. Like there was definitely kind of a heavy not so great around this area. You can kind of see why people avoid it. But eventually you kind of walk up the road toward Matt and Cleve. It's like another, mile or so up the road. You're getting pretty close to town. Like you can see it, not too far off. And you see kind of Osho strolling down the road in your direction here. And she sees you all coming and waves in your direction and says, "Oh, already done at the Kuru's place, huh?"
Yeah, it's haunted.
That's for sure.
Haunted? Well, I mean, I remember when we did the funeral for him, there wasn't really anybody that came. I don't know if he had any family, so yeah, I guess if it's all just empty, probably could get haunted.
Yeah, it's really haunted. Like, turbo haunted. There's a guy in there just constantly muttering to himself.
A little weird, actually.
I mean, he seems like he was a dick to start with, so we just kind of left him there to ruminate.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez. Well, I mean, you'll be happy to know that Horbadu and his friends, we all got back to Matt and Cleve just fine. There wasn't any other of the bullets or anything else that happened, so they're all good and safe.
Good.
All right.
Cool.
Those bug people deserve that nice stuff. We're looking for some Swintons. An old lady Swinton, or whatever's left of that family.
Swinton. Trying to think here. I feel like I've heard that name, but I can't think of anybody that I know of from that. But maybe if we head back out to Matt and Cleve and ask in town, maybe they might know that. Yeah, maybe they might know something. But
Let's do
I
that.
don't recognize the name, which is odd. It seems like something that would be around.
Well, they seem to
Okay.
have borrowed money or owed money or loaned money, so somebody knows her name.
Hmm. So she accompanies you, and you kind of head back up towards Matt and Cleve. So Matt and Cleve here is it's a pretty small town. and it doesn't have like much of an identity of its own. It's more of a gathering place for transporting crops to Carrick and to some of the other towns in the area. Like there's been some kind of small businesses and things that are here just as a result of it being that kind of place with the road, and just kind of a central location for some of the farms that are around here. But yeah, it's a little small town, probably not more than like 1,000 or so people. So
Okay.
not a whole lot, and that kind of includes a lot of the farms around the area too. So it's one of those towns where it's an intersection with like a post office.
Gross.
Yeah. And but yeah, like you do see there's like a kind of a small little like tavern here for kind of a drinking spot for the farmers of the area, and just kind of a few little market shops. But yeah, mostly looks like a lot of like carts that are like parked around here and kind of storage and stuff for gathering crops and shipping them out.
Fair enough. And I guess where is there a local watering hole we should check out?
Yeah, there is like a small little drinking spot here. That looks like there's a few people around. The lights are on there. You see someone out kind of on the porch in front of it, sitting in the chair drinking. Um,
Cool. Gonna walk up to them and introduce ourselves. We are the Wayward Wonders. We're glad to be in town. We are scouting locations for our next great world-changing, mind-shattering illusion performance exhibition.
and the human here in the chair, he kind of looks up at you, and he clearly is a good way through this mug of whatever it is, some sort of alcoholic brew. But he definitely seems a little on the tipsy side. And he sees you all, and he's like, "Oh, newcomers! Hello, welcome to Mancleave. There's not much here, but we're here."
We're here too. It doesn't seem too bad around here.
Nope. So I guess, yeah, once we're in here, just gonna try to gather information about Swintons and Carew and anyone else who might have died suddenly.
Sure. So as you step into the place, you do see like one of the tables over on the wall, the four Shoonies that you guys had rescued earlier. They all seem to be sitting there pouring one out for old Heggy here, and just kind of being happy to still be alive. But they see you all kind of come in. You're hard to miss, and Horberdew kind of raises his mug in your direction. He says, "Oh, it's the ones who saved us. You made it to Mancleave. Welcome, friends. Pull up a chair. Let's celebrate Heggy."
Sure thing, guys. Glad to see you. Glad you made it here safe and sound.
"So, did you find anything interesting out at that old bastard Kurew's place?"
Just a
Well,
class
looks like
3 roaming vapor.
"I don't know what that is, but it's probably not good."
Haunted as fuck.
"Oof. Ghosts. I'm not surprised that angry old dude left a ghost behind."
Oh, yeah?
Well, I mean, he was so bitter. I mean, every time you hear about ghosts leaving behind, it's always like really angry people or really sad people or something like that. And I mean, they usually have something wrong with them or whatever, and then they leave a ghost when they die. So, I mean, he was always a jerk, and well, I can't imagine he would find peace in the afterlife.
Who was one of the last people he pissed off, if you can remember?
I mean, it wasn't that he like had anybody in particular that I know of that he was pissing off around here. He just kind of pissed everybody off, and everybody was just pissed off at him because he was just not a neighborly sort.
And he just kind of died in his sleep.
Yep, that's what they said. He died in his sleep, and he was out there all alone. As from what I heard, I think like people didn't like find him for a couple days or something. Because if he lived out there by himself, nobody's out there checking on him, and nobody wants to go out and visit that old fuck. And well, he didn't come into town for his usual, bringing in a cart to go out to the other towns, and so somebody went to check and see if things were fine, and well, it wasn't so fine, and he was all dead and dead in his bed.
You know anything about the Swinton family? Old lady Swinton?
Swintons. I don't know of anybody in recent times around here with that name, but there used to be a family with that name. I want to say like a decade or more ago, but they had a farm in the area, if I remember right, and if I remember right, there was some sort of accident, and they died, and that was the end of the family line. And the Swintons, they weren't. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
They have an estate nearby.
I don't think they do. They if I remember right, they had a place that was like out east of town, but they didn't have. It was the Mr. and Mrs. If I recall, and I don't think they had any children. There was some sort of accident or something happened, and they passed away, and eventually I believe their farm went to just kind of became part of the cleave, and then it got sold off, and then I don't think anybody. I think the fields around there got claimed by some other nearby farms, but I think the house and all that's all been gone for quite some time. There's just no one else to take it. I can't remember what happened. But yeah, it was something tragic.
Just seemed to die suddenly.
Like I said, I don't think it was like a weird sudden death. It was like some kind of farming accident. Those happen out here in the field. Sometimes you're working with like the tools and implements that we do, and well, sometimes you get injured, and well, sometimes it's a little more serious than other times. Sometimes you just lose a finger, sometimes you lose a bit more.
Fair enough. Well, thank you for your help. Anything else strange happen around here lately?
Let me think. Oh, where is it here? Let's see. There was a where is it here? There was an older gentleman, Nelvy, who several months ago, he passed away kind of suddenly. Kind of suddenly. He did have like a couple of youngins that he was caring for, and they all left town after he passed away. If I recall, I don't remember what happened to them, but I remember his death was very sudden. Or sorry, her death. It was their grandmother.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, that was about 6 months ago.
6 months ago only, huh? Any more within the last year like that?
Not here in Matt and Cleve, but I've heard that I've heard rumors when I've gone up to Carrick of like other like deaths and stuff, just people dying in their sleep out of nowhere, just all around the Swordlands. Don't know what's happening with that, but I mean the ground around here isn't as good as it used to be. Like something's up with the tower. There's been weird rumblings, rumors about out there, and then the land around it's all yellowed and blighted. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe something got mad.
Yeah, it's your Aeon orb getting knocked out of whack. Don't worry about it. We're getting there.
Aeon orb. I don't know anything about that. Is that some kind of magic rock? Some wizard business?
Wizard business, resonant echoes, Eridan, dead god, old god, new god. You get it.
Oh, Eridan. We know Eridan. We love it. We have so many tales about Eridan.
You know anything about his throne or his resident echoes or what killed him?
Let's see. He doesn't know anything about any sort of echoes or magic and stuff, but Eridan was at least according to the tales that my mom told me. At least a lot of us Shunies know this growing up, but they say that Eridan made us to be pleasant company on the Isle of Kortos, and we have a long reputation of being hospitable and good and pacifist and just nice, pleasant company because Eridan made us that way.
Well, what a great guy.
I'm just imagining you asking him that question of how did he die, and him being like, he's dead?
But yeah, they don't really seem to know much details. They just know that Eridan made them.
You just know that he's gonna
Okay.
die.
Eridan loves them. This they know.
Oh, no.
Yes, Eridan loves me. Yes.
Pugman
Eridan
Bible
loves
tells us so.
Christianity. Well then, since we're here, might as well. What was the name of the other recent victim in town?
That one from 6 months ago was the Nelvi. It was like a grandmother Nelvi who passed away suddenly, and then her three youngins that she was caring for left the town after that happened.
Maybe we should go check out that place, see if it's also haunted.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. So, the former place of the Nelvies, like they said, was just kind of east of town. Not as far away as the Cruise was. It was a little closer in. But you head out that direction, and let's see. You find that there is kind of another small farmhouse out here. And a little bit in better repair than the other one was. There's a sign out front that seems to be mentioning that the farm is for sale of some kind. Open to any offers at all. But otherwise, it doesn't seem to be anybody around. You don't feel any sort of like heaviness or kind of presence like you did at the Caru's place, though.
We bought our own farm.
You're muted, by the way, Nit.
Rise with, we bought our own farm, and then we could grow all the turnips we wanted.
Holy shit, that'd be amazing.
Right?
Retirement plan.
Yep.
This place looks up for sale. Maybe we can buy it with the money you get from the next couple shows.
Ooh.
Yeah, I guess you could.
Well then, since this place doesn't seem to be nearly as haunted as fuck as the ooze we'd like, we could continue with this, find out where the Nelvies went, the surviving children. See what they might know about their grandmother's untimely demise. But we're also not too terribly far away from the Wellspring Tower, which we know we'll have to visit.
Indeed. So as you're kind of looking around the area here, roll a perception check for me. Okay. All right. So Maz and Honker and Braz, like as you guys have been kind of like looking at this place, even though it doesn't seem to be like haunted, you can't help but feel like you're being like watched. And you kind of take a look around and you feel like you're looking towards the house and you take a look towards like the upper floor and you feel like you see someone kind of duck out of like a windowsill up on like the second floor.
Hey, did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
Was it a ghost?
Fucking ghost! Let's get this guy.
Get the ghosts. We attack the ghosts.
Not attacking it, but I am gonna train my fists to be cold iron, and then I have wall run. I'm gonna wall run up to that second floor.
Cast vicious mockery on the ghost. Tell it is short.
All right, so you run up the wall here, and then in through the window, and as you land on the floor on the second floor of this, you find that you are kind of in between what looks like, or what seems to be three kind of teenage humans, two girls and a guy. And they all kind of look at you in amazement, having just run up the wall and through their window here. And like they're all kind of wearing kind of ratted clothes. The interior of this place seems like fine. Like it looks like a little lived in. But yeah, it seems like these three have been either just kind of hiding here or whatever on their own. You see a lot of kind of religious insignia around, but you're not entirely sure which that is. But yeah, they just three unarmed teenagers. One of them kind of pipes up after a moment after you kind of land in here with your fists, and you're like, "Did you just run up the wall? That's so cool."
Yeah, don't worry about it. I thought I was gonna have to punch a ghost. You guys all right?
Yeah, we're not ghosts. Please don't punch us.
Well,
Okay,
that's
cool.
That's exactly what a ghost would say.
Oh shit.
Right after boo.
Honker demetals his fist, which they didn't actually turn into metal. They just like have different shine to them now. So okay, what's with the squatting up in this dump, and who you worshiping these days?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't really say we're squatting in this dump. This is our house. Well, I mean, it was our grandma's house, but I mean, it's kind of ours now, I guess. But we don't really have the money to pay anything to the town, so we don't really want them to know we're here.
How much do you owe the town?
Oh, I don't know. I don't keep track of that. Too much. We don't got the money for that. We're just trying to find a place before we find somewhere else to move on to. How did you run up that wall? Where'd you learn that? That's so cool.
Listen, we have a method to grow gold in the ground. Okay? So we just need to know how much you owe so we can figure out how much to grow. You owe, we grow. It's our motto.
Do you do
we have so many business plans
do you do
going.
some kind of magic? Are you like some kind of sorcerer?
Uh,
Oh my god!
I'm Honker. And then I honk my nose.
One of
Don't
the
worry about the details. You leave that to one of those two.
as,
Brodus.
as you honk your nose, like one of the other girls kind of speaks up. She's like, "Are you like a little clown?"
Something
Yeah,
like that.
you wanna see a really cool trick I'm working on?
Oh God.
No. Don't say yes.
The as you confirm that you are a clown, you kind of see all three of their faces light up, and they're like, "Oh, ever since our grandmother died, we always thought it would be really cool to like join a circus or something like that, but nothing like that ever comes around here. But if you're a clown, you probably know about a circus, right? Maybe we can get out of here and go be part of it. Do you know of any circuses?"
Okay, listen to me, kids. I can tell you all about the circus. All you have to do is pledge your undying loyalty and souls to me. I'm Honker.
Oh, I mean, I don't really know about souls. Our grandma,
Okay, fine.
she was a priestess of Desna, and so I mean, she kind of raised us that way too. But yeah, she was it's always such a nice priestess for the town here, and well, so we like to sing and dance and uh, bring the joy of Desna to everyone.
Well, I don't know about that preachy Desna crap, but you could probably come with us as long as you can work and kind of lift a heavy load. But it's a co-op situation. If you're not carrying your weight, we'll put you down. But like, we'll make fun of you until you leave. That's what I mean.
So any of you who wishes to, you can roll a check on religion, see if you know anything about the particular deity Desna.
Hold on. I argue that I can roll clown lore.
I knew that was coming.
Always is.
Sure, you can roll clown lore.
Oh.
Okay. So
The most OP lore in the game.
Grotus Honker, you've heard of this particular deity. She's kind of it's kind of a like one of the older deities in kind of the pantheon of Galarian. And she is an ancient goddess of freedom and luck, and is usually depicted as kind of beautiful elven woman with like butterfly wings. But yeah, she's yeah, the freedom and luck is definitely kind of the biggest thing of her. And people who worship Desna um, usually like to just kind of spread the word of her and like the joy of like experiencing new wonders and and the luck and the freedom that comes with exploring the world, um, that sort of thing.
So never related to the Night Mother or burning anything.
No, definitely nothing in that regard.
Okay. So it sounds like we could bring them with us, but it's not a lot of progress for what we're looking into. We could probably buy their farm and turn it into a circus school.
No, it's a turnip farm.
We're gonna we're gonna grow turnips and potatoes, and that's really all you need in order to survive.
If you do, so in terms of like the other information that you're looking for here, if you do want to try to like find out more about their grandma and what happened to her, um, you can do a diplomacy check to try to get more about that particular thing, since that's what we came here for.
Can you tell me some more about your grandma? Like, what are your favorite memories? What were some of her rivalries? Maybe her maiden name and birth date and her favorite pet.
And the funny numbers on the back of her credit card.
Oh, I'm gonna hero point that.
Okay, go ahead. Okay. All right. So try to get these siblings to talk a little bit more about their grandmother. And they tell us more about how what a devoted priestess she was of Desna, and was always trying to bring good luck to the area, kind of helping other people like do alms and whatnot to try to bring luck in the harvest and whatnot. And in terms of the like rivalries, they don't know anything in that regard. Whereas they knew everybody really liked the grandma. And about her passing away, um, they mention that a few days before she died, um, they say that their grandmother mentioned to them that she was having really terrible nightmares, and it was like 2 days before she died, she started having these really terrible nightmares, and she like got weaker, like those couple of days, and then she died.
Oh, that's. What did she
Spoilers.
tell you what the nightmares were about?
No, they didn't tell us the details, but yeah, she woke up and she looked really bad, and she said that she hadn't slept very well, and she'd had like a nightmare, and then she had one the next night, and she just looked really terrible and didn't really have any strength to kind of go much outside of her bedroom here, and then the next day she died.
She upset anybody in town or come across any new objects or possessions?
No, nothing new. She didn't really, you know, get too many new things. I mean, most of the time she was, doing her various work for Desna, or helping out townsfolk with their alms for Desna. But yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. It's just all of a sudden just terrible nightmares, and then she was gone.
Hmm.
Tragic.
Indeed.
Well, Gertis recognizes this beat, bows to each of the children individually, and then dives out of the window, tumbles onto the ground, starts running towards the horizon.
Don't worry, he just does that sometimes.
You get used to it.
Anyway, how about you get off my farm and come to my circus instead?
Where is it at? We'd love to.
Well, it's here and there. It's the Circus of Wayward Wonders. And then I do my scream and birth the Matryoshka horror as, like, they come out, they form an arrow pointing in whatever direction the circus is in.
God.
You
Oh,
can kind of tell that Quick immediately regrets this.
oh
Yep.
man. They liked the sound of the name of the circus. They were a little concerned by the Matryoshka display.
Understandable.
All
But
are.
they they take this information from your little arrow Matryoshkas on the ground, and they say, "Oh, in Carrick? Yeah, okay. Yeah, we can head towards Carrick. I guess we'll see you there then. Thanks for letting us
Yeah,
know. We've been wondering what to do, and it always seemed like something we would be good at."
go to the professor and tell him that we own you now and he can put you to work. That's a code word for him so that he knows you work for us, with us. You're part of the co-op, not a slave.
Of course. Of course.
Anybody else, as we go like further, get a little bit more scared of I'm Hunker?
Everything is good and normal.
Every damn time.
All right.
Hunter's just finding himself. It's okay.
Yeah, aside from these kids, yeah, it seems like everything else here is pretty well in order. But yeah, it seems like we have some at least a little bit of information to some extent to go off of. We got these whatever happened to the Swintons, something with whatever happened to the Carews is mad about, and nightmares before people die. Something in the
And
night.
a lady who can sing to ghosts. She might come in useful.
Yeah, they're cousins.
We should get her signed on to the co-op.
Well, next time you're in Castonley, that would be the place to go. But for now, I'd say are we probably just going to head back to Carrick with all this info in tow? Probably try to get set up for a show in Carrick next time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose we
that
should probably
sounds
do our
reasonable.
Okay. All right. Well, then
Actually,
we'll.
do our damn jobs.
All
Well,
right.
if
Well,
people quit hiring us to be cops and private detectives.
in Ghostbusters,
Yeah,
Yeah,
now we're Ghostbusters.
indeed.
our
Ghost
resumes out of hand.
Ghostbusters
Orphans
and
everywhere.
shit trough diggers. Eh.
No, that one's
Oh,
just
yeah.
personal hobby.
that one's just for fun. That one's for pleasure. That's
Yeah.
cool. Okay. Well, so we'll have you guys on the road heading back to Carrick and pick it up next time with
Cool.
a show in Carrick and whatever we do with this information we've gotten so far on what the fuck's going on. Cool. All right. Well, we'll see y'all in 2 weeks then, or sooner for some of
Yeah.
you.
Thanks for running.
Hell yeah.
Good game. Good time.
Butter.
R.I.P. Heggy.
R.A.P. Haggis.
R.I.P. Haggis. He was a real one.
One brave pugman.
I was rolling for reasons. Here, let me put this in Discord.